What's going on? Vincent Rapsardi, BigBlueUnbiased.com. Merry Christmas to those out there. A little bit of a different setup today. We got the microphone, we got the headphones. This is actually how I used to do it when I first started YouTube. For those who are watching, if you could comment, I would really appreciate that. It helps the algorithm, gets more people to watch, so I would really appreciate that. So in this video, we'll do a quick Christmas Day video. Logan Ryan has been given a contract extension by the Giants. They signed him right before the start of the season, and he has been a great addition for the Giants. Very versatile defensive back, safety, slot corner kind of guy. Over 80 tackles, 7 quarterback pressures. He's forced 3 fumbles. He's kind of a do-it-all defensive back. Very impressive what he's been able to do for the Giants. Like I said, signed right before the start of the season. Another really good addition over the past year or so for Dave Gettleman. You look at Leonard Williams, James Bradbury, Blake Martinez. Like I said, over the past year, he's made a lot of good moves when it comes to signing, trading for veteran players. What really does also impress me about Logan Ryan is the fact that you look at his completion percentage allowed, okay, in coverage, and it's lower than he's had it in previous years. It's around 61%. Last year was around 66%, but his average depth of target is actually lower, usually shorter passes, higher completion percentage. But he's actually knocked down the completion percentage allowed while his average depth of target has actually went down. So that's even more impressive that completion percentage has gone down as his average depth of target has gone down. He has been a great addition for the Giants, and he reminds me very much of Antrel Rolle when Antrel Rolle was with the Giants, kind of that veteran leader, safety, smart IQ football player, that high football awareness kind of player. That's what he reminds me of. He's not as vocal, and Antrel Rolle was definitely more vocal and loud, but they both just very similar in terms of their overall impact, their flexibility, their leadership. Two different ways of leading, but I definitely think that both their veteran leadership, both guys definitely played a big part on their respective teams. And I'll also add this. Just think about this, and I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but if Dave Gettleman is giving guys contract extensions here, if Logan Ryan is being extended by Dave Gettleman, a move that Gettleman made, and sure, maybe Joe Judge had some input. Obviously, Logan Ryan had been on the Patriots when Joe Judge was a coach on the Patriots. But if the Giants are handing out a contract extension at this point in the season, I'm going to take a guess Dave Gettleman is probably staying at least one more season. Some people don't want to hear that. Some people are fine with that. I would say, judging by Twitter, and Twitter is not everything, but judging by Twitter, I would say like 65% of people still are not really sold on Dave Gettleman and kind of want him out. Then there's like probably 30% who can't stand him out of that 65% that want him gone. But I would say around 65% are like, move on from Dave Gettleman. I think the other 35%, they're like, okay, Dave Gettleman, I think he's done fine. I don't think there's anyone that's in love with Dave Gettleman. I think he's done amazing, and he's the best GM out there. But I think, like I said, that other 35%, they've seen enough to like what they've seen, and they like where the rebuild is going for the Giants. And I understand that. The Giants are moving forward in their rebuild, and they're definitely getting better. They're definitely improving. Okay, last year was their first season rebuilding, their first full season rebuilding, and they were bad. Okay, but this year they've clearly added some good pieces, like we talked about Bradbury, Martinez, Leonard Williams over the past year, right? They've added some good veteran players to their defense. Their defense is way better. Now Logan Ryan, he's going to be a piece that they expect to be on their team for the next 2-3 years. So they've put together a really nice defense. Their offensive line's getting there. Okay, very good run-blocking offensive line. They need to get better in pass protection, but it's a young unit, and there's definitely a lot of potential there. I think a lot of people would say that they're trending in the right direction with their rebuild. So I don't know. If I were the Giants, I think I would have to stick with Dave Gettleman at least one more season, especially after the offseason he just had. Like I said, Martinez, Bradbury, now Logan Ryan. These are 3 really, really good signings in one offseason. That's tough to do. So that's where I would say Dave Gettleman right now, he's probably heading towards another season.